What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's that one girl here, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, we'll be talking about the third week at basic military training for the Air Force. But before that, I have two quick updates. First day, I found out that I'll be taking the exam during the May-June cycle. So y'all keep me in your prayers because this is my career, okay? Second update is that I don't know if you read my description box below, but I've changed my upload schedule, so I will only be uploading on Fridays from here on out until further notice. I mean, probably at least until June, like the beginning of June, because I really need to stay focused. It's my last semester of grad school. I'm not playing games. So yeah, let's get into this video. Cause I'm in love with you. If you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. I don't understand why you wouldn't, and click the bell so you can turn your post notifications on to be notified every single time that I post a new video. I know I'm wearing glasses again, but it's snowing outside. I wasn't going anywhere. There was no need for me to put on contacts. I just let my eyes rest. First of all, during your third week at basic military training, you are no longer a sneaker weeker. So turn up for that, because I know being a sneaker weeker is hard. It's weird looking. You got your nice ABUs on, or OCPs, new people, and then you got on sneakers instead of those nice new boots. Like, you just look awkward. You stand out. Everybody knows what week you are. First thing I remember from Sunday, which Sunday begins the new week, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in my last video. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. It'll be in the iCard, wherever that is up here. I said before that there were no MTIs on Sundays, but we were younger weeks, so of course we had to have some kind of guidance. Now we are getting a little older, a little more mature, so there were actually no MTIs in the dorms on Sunday. And this Sunday was the first time we got mail. But let me tell you something. I didn't get any mail. It was kind of sad, honestly, the first time, because it was just like, dang, like, I've been here for a little bit now. Where my mail at? Everybody looking at their letters. People were crying and all that stuff, and I was just like, But it was fine, no big deal. So something else that I remember, that I don't know what order this is in. Y'all know from experience, if you're, a consistent person here on my channel, sometimes I lose order of my experience, but I still know what I'm talking about. At some point during this week, I got a 341 pulled. Now, 341 is like, it's kind of like a disciplinary thing, but you can also get like awards on it. I don't really know if I'm explaining that right, but it has like your name and some information on it. And if you get a 341 pulled, it's not a good thing unless they pull it for like excellence or something, which, like I said, sometimes it can be good, but most of the time if you get a 341 pulled, it's bad. So if you hear me talk about that later on and I forget to explain it, I just wanted to mention what a 341 was. And you keep it in one of your pockets at all times. So when they ask you, and you get in trouble if you don't have a 341 if they ask you for one. So don't make that mistake if it's a good thing and they ask you for your 341 and you don't have one, because then you just messed yourself up. But I got a 341 pulled during the second week for, I think it was like my boots weren't tied or something like that. And I forgot to say my reporting statement when I was like, I'll fix that right away or whatever. Always remember to say your reporting statement. Like, they are so bent on it. Like, just remember to say it, because you get in trouble. Like, you get in trouble for so many other things. There is no reason to add that. Monday, we had class, I think I've told y'all before. It's like death by PowerPoint. You literally sit there and remember, if you get sleepy, go stand up. It's just sitting there and listening to somebody lecture. Yeah, it's different MTIs. Some of them had different teaching styles, but that's with, anybody who's a teacher. But it's still boring, because it's just hours of sitting there, like, and then you go to lunch and whatever. However, one of the highlights of this week, aside from class, was that we learned about a patio break. So the patio break, you're gonna get a briefing and they're gonna explain to you what you can do. I think I told you about like I can never remember what it's called. The downstairs area, like before you go upstairs to your dorm, there's like a downstairs area, and they have like patios and stuff down there, and they have like vending machines or whatever. you can use that on the patio break. So they're gonna give you a briefing, they're gonna tell you everything that you can do and can't do on your patio break. So of course a lot of people were pressed, there were vending machines there, so people were getting candy and snacks and stuff because you're not getting that in the defect. No, you're not. That's not what you're getting. So I used the time, in fact, to write letters because I was like, hey, maybe they're not sending letters because I didn't send anything to them. Like, I didn't know who all had my like address and information. I really don't know how it works. Maybe I'll feature my mom in here one day. That would be a great video, wouldn't it? Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do a video with my parents about like what their experience was not having their daughter around, you know, because I was gone. Like, I know they miss me. Now, this is important because it's very specific to me, but this is where everything went south. So if you haven't watched my video on Why the Silence, that's what it's called. I'm gonna put it in the iCard below. I'm pretty sure that's the title of it, but basically why I'm no longer in the Air Force. Sure, it'll be interesting for you, but anyway, this is where it all started. So second week, Tuesday, my job was supposed to be fire protection, right? So we have a physical. It's like a flight physical. You don't get in the plane or anything. It was like an all-day thing. It was the first time I went to the, like, I guess hospital. I don't really know what it was called, or like doctor's office on base. And I had another trainee walk with me there. You know, you always got to go in pairs. And so we were there all day. And I think I told y'all before about the whole God on bear thing. So the alternate person had to take over for the day because I was at an appointment all day. This was the first time I ever had to eat an MRE. Y'all, I thought the DFAC food wasn't good, but that MRE was so trifling, and I remember it because it was a beef taco MRE, and it came with a chocolate chip cookie. Like, what a weird combination. So there's a way, like, I didn't know this originally because I'm new, you know, we're trainees, we're whatever week, and other people aren't really, you know, talking to you and letting you know stuff yet. You can't really talk yet, just freely. So I think I ate it cold. Mind you, I will tell you right now, there's a way to heat up your MRE depending on the food it is, I think. Or does it all come with a heater? I don't know. But there's a way to heat up your MRE. Didn't know that yet, so I'll share that in another video. So I ate it cold, and of course, first of all, it was already nasty when I opened it. I was like, what is this? This is not beef. I don't know what it is. But then it was cold. I didn't eat it. I was just so hungry. I ate the chocolate chip cookie. I don't think I told y'all before, I'm not really a sweets person, but I had to eat something. So I ate the chocolate chip cookie. And just a terrible experience, just a terrible one. There are better MREs. I will say they're not all disgusting, so, but we'll talk about that later. At the little doctor's appointment, I did meet this guy who was in his like 6th week of training or something like that. I couldn't remember, but he had like a lot of insight on like just how to go through things, and he was being, I think, held back a week for some medical issue or whatever. And I, you know, I'm new here. I'm not hip to all this medical stuff, like what can happen if you're not ready and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, damn, they held you back a week? That sucks. Like, no big deal though, right? Right? No big deal? Oh, I was so wrong. But anyway, so I did see him later on in the later weeks of training. I actually saw him on his graduation day, which is cool. Don't remember his name at all, but if I saw him on the street, I'll probably know who it was. This was not just a random aside. It'll be important for later. I believe Wednesday again, we had class, and then Thursday was like a follow-up appointment from my original flight physical. And that Thursday I had to do like, oh my gosh, what is it called? Like the breathing thing, man. It's like forced vital capacity. Look, I know I'm an exercise science. I'm to breathe in it, but. So, I did my little breathing test, and I also had an EKG done, and my numbers were like off or something like that. And I also found out, I think I told y'all before that we had blood tests. I don't know. But I also found out then that I had anemia. Makes sense. I'm always cold. Didn't think it was a big deal. So wrong, so wrong. Everything about my thought process of going through these things was so wrong. Oh my gosh, whatever. So that's what happened. And then I just went, you know, they were like, we're going to do a follow-up appointment tomorrow. Again, I have to miss another day of training to go sit down and do some stuff. Like, ugh. And it was taking the other girl because they were sending me with the same person consistently to go to the doctor with. It was frustrating. But anyway, so moving on. I sit with this lady when we get there, and I guess she's the nurse or whatever, and she's like, oh, haha, sorry. So what happened was I had the parameters from the boy before you. The snowplow was going by. So anyway, I was sitting there, and the lady's like, oh, haha, like, sorry. We actually had the parameters in from the guy before you, who's like a 7-foot tall dude or 6 foot something. And he weighed, you know, whatever he weighed. And it was just like, so you messed up my numbers because you had in the wrong person? However, that was kind of irrelevant. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm still anemic. And that was the problem. This was really where it all went south. Basically, I was told that I had anemia, and I guess he was the doctor. I saw some guy, and he sat and talked to me about it. He was like, yeah, we're going to send you over to, there's this place, it's like Training Health. So they'll talk to you about, you know, how you've been doing with training. You know, they'll also, I think they also draw blood and stuff. They'll do whatever they need to do to figure out what's going on with you and if you're physically ready to be in the Air Force. So I had another appointment coming up, but that was not this week, so we're not even going to talk about it. I just want to highlight that I know that this video sounds like it's all about my personal experience. It's really important for people that might have medical issues or anything like that because, well, you'll see why later on, like in the later weeks, but also your second week of training is basically classes. Like, you're sitting there trying not to fall asleep and, you know, everything daily. You're doing briefings, you're doing classes. I think the only exciting thing was that you had like your weapons briefing officially, but even that, it wasn't like you were going to the gun range during your second week of training. So that's why I'm just taking you through what my experience was. And for anybody who had a similar experience in the Air Force with basic training, please comment down below. I would love to get in touch with you and hear about yours. I'm considering doing like interviews with people that also went through med hold, so let me know down in the comments below if you all will be interested in that, because med hold is a whole different experience from anything else at basic training. The last thing I want to tell you all about the second week of training, I keep getting confused because it's like your third week there, but it's called second week of training. Anyway, last thing I want to tell you guys about it was that we got another phone call, and I don't know why this phone call was so severe. Like, a lot of people were really crying and just hurt. This second phone call, I didn't have time. It wasn't like a really long thing. It was just like a really quick call. So I just called my parents together, and we just prayed and talked for like 5 seconds, and then they told us to hang up. So yeah, I don't know if everybody gets that phone call, but I know we did, and it was just really dramatic. So that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the information in this video. If you watched this video to the end, comment snow, because it's snowing outside and I just love it. I love being in the house on a Monday because it doesn't happen to me. If you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. I don't understand why you wouldn't, and click the bell so you can turn your post notifications on and be notified every single time that I post a new video. Most importantly, you guys, please go ahead and share this video. Share it with somebody who does eyebrows. Share it with somebody who tends to cows, and share it with somebody who owns a snowplow. I don't care. Love you guys. Deuces. You don't talk it, 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 you don't talk it.